Welcome back, everybody, to round 3 of round 1. So now we have Team Bots versus D to Dance. How are you feeling after seeing the first 2 games? And how are you feeling for this one?
Well, definitely still excited, of course. Game number 2 is actually remarkably closer compared to game number 1. That one definitely could have gone either way. However, innovation, clutching things up nicely. But now, of course, we have Christ the King out of Mississauga, and then we do have John Mccrrae.
We do.
Which is, I believe, Ottawa, if I recall correctly. So,
Oh.
double check myself. It is Ottawa, yes.
Yes.
So there we go. Okay, fact check myself live here on air. But yes, because I like D the Dance because we all know F is for Flash, right?
It is. F is for Flash. That's how I go by. That's what I go by. All right. So, do you want to start by introducing Team Bots for us?
Let's take a look. Yes, Team Bots. That's going to be out of John Mccrrae Secondary School. We are going to have yet another pattern here. You'll see shortly here. Up in the top lane, we have Alter 96. That's going to be Edward, grade 11.
Okay.
Used to be a Master Yi one trick.
Oh, that's... Nah.
I think we all had a phase there when we were first starting up.
No. Not me. Nope.
No?
Absolutely not. It's Jinx and only Jinx. Have you not learned this yet?
Have you ever played AP Master Yi when it was absolutely insane?
No, I wasn't playing when that started.
Okay.
I started season 6. So
it was fun. That was one of the first things I ever did in video editing wise was an AP Master Yi montage. I'll let you know that.
Oh my god.
That's
You're one of them.
It was fun pushing Q and watching the whole team die. But then we have in the jungle, we have Sieve. That's going to be Eric. Peaked at Plat 2 and still fighting to climb his solo Q rank. So far, so good there.
Oh, really?
Is apparently formerly a top 50 Master Yi player in North America, which is always cool. We have Tot Knife. That's going to be Stanley, also grade 11. Started playing League of Legends in grade 7 after being shown the game from a friend.
Okay.
And plays mid after watching the Faker play. The one that we were referencing earlier with Zed and with Doa casting it with Monty.
Yeah.
An iconic moment and been
Very
playing
iconic.
mid lane ever since. So it's pretty cool, Stanley. Meanwhile, we have Yais, a fellow Daniel, grade 11. Also used to be a Master Yi one trick.
What the?
And he says he has 2 competitive accomplishments.
Yeah.
One is that there was one ranked game where he was still level 3 at 20 minutes in.
How?
An accomplishment? I have no idea.
Even if you're AFK in base, that doesn't happen.
I know, so definitely an accomplishment in that regard. But then also went from bronze to plat in 1 season, so that's actually a remarkable competitive achievement there.
I'm gonna one-up you and say I went to gold to diamond, so...
Oh, why you gotta be like that?
I'm sorry!
Then lastly here, Yusuf, that's going to be trash but toxic. Also grade 11, plays support Shaco as a one trick for the longest time. A former Saints OG Nakutaiken would be smiling right now. The fellow Shaco one tricks.
I need that username of his. Anyways,
now, how about D to Dance?
D to Dance, they are from Christ the King Catholic Secondary School in Georgetown. So for the top lane, we have Wisest Doggo.
Wisest Doggo. Only the wisest.
I like that username. His name is Jack Seguin. He is in grade 10. He used to be a Mordekaiser one trick. Just started playing League this year, actually.
Okay.
And he works at McDonald's with Josh and Gabe, who
wow.
I'm assuming is down the line.
Yeah, that works.
Then
teamwork on and off the rift.
Exactly. Then we do have Gutter044 for the jungle. His name is Derek Tutt. He is in grade 12. Entire family are avid skaters and has always wanted to play high-level hockey.
Oh, very cool, actually.
Yeah. For mid laner, we do have Soccer Gabe. I'm going to assume he works with the top laner. His name is Gabriel Sylvia.
Okay.
And he's in grade 12. He likes to play any character that he says can do the funny. Hates when you pronounce a champion's name wrong. Works at McDonald's with Jack and Josh. Came 4th in cross country in grade 8.
I feel like we're going to be in for a world of hurt if I say someone's tag wrong then.
Stay calm, Dan. So we have an ADC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to butcher that. Sefrika. His name is Josh Lapsley. Grade 12, can solve a Rubik's Cube, loves to play golf, and quote, is nasty at it.
Nasty golf, eh?
Stay in your seat, Dan. He also works at McDonald's with Jack and Gabe.
Oh.
It's insane. Oh my god. Is that her? Is that my champion?
Finally, yep.
Really quick for the support, we do have Sustenmed?
Let's take a look here.
Sustenmed?
Justin Med?
Yeah. Justin Medi. Oh.
Oh, it's a combination of his name. I like.
Yeah.
As someone who did that with his own tag, I can appreciate that.
He is in grade 12 and he normally plays jungle, but being a solid support for this tourney and is currently starring in our school's production of High School Musical.
Oh, let's go.
A classic.
Absolutely.
Now, to do a quick run through the bands, for Team Bots, we have Misfortune, Yasuo, Hecarim, and Nunu. And then, Soraka as well. And then for D to Dance, we have Victor, Volibear, Zaya, Twisted Fate, and Veigar. I'll let you talk about the picks.
Okay, because I feel like we would hang on one character specific if I let you do that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, so taking a look at the picks so far here for Team Bots out of John Mccrrae, we're gonna have a Malphite, which is just one of the tried and true like tank characters up in the top lane, joined alongside the bot pair of Jinx and Leona.
Very happy.
Whether it be early game, but especially late game, that'll be scary. Speaking of late game, Cassiopeia making the second appearance so far in this tournament is going to be in the mid lane. But just keep her safe and let her get to late game. She'll be fantastic. Nocturne, first time we're going to see this character in this tournament. Is fantastic at diving in and being able to black out vision from everybody.
Yes, he
Meanwhile,
is.
side of D to Dance, Mordekaiser, another fantastic bruiser up in the top lane. Jin going to be battling up against Jinx there in the bot lane. Yone or Yon is going to be more than likely mid, I would imagine, in this situation here. A little bit very similar to Yasuo of what we saw a little bit earlier. Very assassin-like.
Very.
Kayn going to be in the jungle, gets the opportunity to play either damage or tank. We'll have to see what they end up picking down the line.
I'm sure our jungler is very happy.
Absolutely, yeah. The fellow Kayn player himself, of course. And then Rakan, the final pick here for the side of D to Dance down in the support line.
Yeah.
Basically, a nice little mixture of support plus engage.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited to see this gameplay. I'm sure everybody can take a guess of who my bets are on for a specific reason. But both team comps actually look really good so far. It looks like the Team Bots is going to do the same thing that we saw last time, where they have the, oh my god, not the dive comp, but the I'm just going to kill you all as group comp. And then we also have the, for D to Dance, it looks like they're going to be more of a pick comp. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
I was going to say, both of these teams feel a lot more standard-ish, if you know what I'm saying.
They are more standard.
It's not necessarily a theme to it, but they can still absolutely work together when the time comes here. So, of course, Team Bot's going to be on the left-hand side here, D to Dance on the right. And let's see who manages to take themselves an early lead. In other games, we would already have like a kill or two by now. So a much more quieter start.
Very. But I'm really interested to see how each lane goes. The Cass versus Yone, I haven't ever really seen that. Because Cass is not played as much anymore after she got heavily nerfed a couple patches ago. But down in bot lane, D to Dance is going to get the level 2 first, but they are not going to go for the engage yet. And then it just looks like it's the classic, I just want to farm and play safe until something, like I get a gank or something similar to that. Yone does look like he wants to go in for a little bit of damage here, but Cass, with her Fang, I forget which ability it is exactly, it's basically like an empowered auto attack. With that, she does get a little bit of poke on him instead.
Yeah, and honestly, I think as the Cassiopeia in this situation, that's all you can really harass with. As soon as you use either of your other abilities, the Acid Puddle, or it'd be the burst damage one or the lingering one, that just gives the Yone the opportunity. It's like, hey, I can dive in on you and you can't hit me.
Exactly.
And like, you have to be very, very careful. The Twin Fangs there, she can fire off the E. You can definitely fire that off whenever, sure. Just don't use the other two abilities, otherwise you are going to be in for a world of hurt.
Yeah, it definitely just looks like everybody's poking each other down. One thing that I got really excited about is that I saw the Jinx's arcane skin, so that makes me even more happy.
Oh, jeez.
Both junglers are hovering around top and mid, so we might see a game coming in soon. Malphite is just staying at turret, so probably not likely for top, but we'll see about mid lane.
I mean, we know the arcane buff is real, right? So
yeah.
fair enough. Fishbone's going to be coming out there, and then we do have the gank now in the mid lane. Soccer Gabe could be in for a world of hurt. That could have been troublesome, but is going to be able to get out just fine. No flash blown or anything, but still some solid harassment coming out of here for Tot Knife and Sieved so far on the side of Team Bots.
Very nice play from the Yone. But the Cass is playing this lane extremely well just any time that he walks up, because Leone is melee and Cass is ranged, so she is able to get those autos in whenever he does try and walk up to get the CS. And it shows in the amount of CS that they have. Yone is a little bit further down than Cass at the moment, but who knows what will happen later on. Mordekaiser is going to go in here with the pull, but it looks like Malphite's going to walk out with no problem. Nocturne's hovering around bot. Looks like he's going to run into his Krug. Cass wants that kill.
Yeah, but being very passive and safe about it, though, not just going to recklessly dive. Wants to make sure they can get like one ability plus the Fangs to come on out here with all these minions coming through. Good little dodger from Gabe. You might be able to actually turn this. Ignite is there, and sure enough, he's going to turn and burn it. Soccer Gabe with the first blood.
No way that just happened. That's okay. That's one thing that I don't like about Yone. His shield on his W is so strong. You don't expect it, but it is. But very, very well played for him. Cass stepped up a little bit too far, and all he did was had to take advantage of it, and he ended up coming out.
You have to land your skill shot as a Cassiopeia.
Yep.
Either of those poison puddles would then, yes, sure, let you spam those Fangs for days. But you don't hit it, you're just going to run out of cooldowns, and all of a sudden you're just sitting there auto-attacking, which Cassiopeia is not very strong at. And the fact that Soccer Gabe was able to maneuver himself properly, just kind of dodge all the poison puddles. Sure, took a Twin Fang, but that was it. Meanwhile, down in the bot lane, engagement coming through, but it is going to be thwarted for just a moment. Root onto the Leona. Trash but Toxic does have the extra shielding or the extra armor up, so really did not take a whole heck of a lot of damage. And actually, Yais is going to be able to really put some pain here onto the opposing squad here of D to Dance. And honestly, D to Dance probably got the worst of that.
When did that happen up top? I thought Malf was low, not Mordekaiser.
I guess that kind of switched last second, but we'll have
Here
to
comes the
see.
king.
We could be coming right back down. Root there back on the Trash but Toxic. Does armor out. No, doesn't have the armor quite just yet. Sussin Med, though, is going to take a lot of damage as well, but going to get shielded up. These ganks feels really, really forced, and they're really not finding the value just yet, so it might be time to kind of let off for a second.
Well, I contradict that, but first, this Nocturne was found in the enemy jungle. Looks like Yone is trying to go in and pick up the kill on him. He is going to use the ulti just real quick, but Nocturne is going to flash away from him over the wall just as he's using his E to go back. One thing that I was about to say though, the Kayn, it might not look like his ganks are successful at all, but here's the thing: he needs to hit the enemies, specifically either melees or ranged people, in order to get orbs. Those orbs are going to help him transform into his actual champion. So then that's what we League players say. Like, he becomes an actual champion because he either goes tank or he goes assassin.
Right.
So
okay,
whoa,
got him.
All right then.
Yeah, Wild Saga is going to end up dropping, but there's also actually here in the mid lane, Soccer Gabe going up against Dot Knife once again. They're both going to get out of dodge with just a sliver of health, but no ultimates on deck. It's just going to be a matter of, do these actually hit? Or never mind, you get your partner Nocturne and come fly on through. No mana here for Sieves, though. Very squishy still. The Nocturne can get tanky the later this goes on. Poison is on target. And perfectly done there from Dot Knife to just kind of clean up the kill. Found the poison, finds the Fangs, finds the kill.
That was exactly like the Annie last
Very
game.
similar, absolutely.
Like just the flash ignite. It's the same thing with the flash and poison. It does way more damage than you always think it will do. But so far, like, very well played. I've been like kind of surprised with how well these team fights are turning out. Everybody's getting away with either just a sliver of health, and they're like using all their abilities to their full potential.
Yeah, absolutely. And even up in the top lane there, Alter was just absolutely able to capitalize. Had the ultimate, had Widest Doggo on on next to no HP, lands the Unstoppable Force, and just basically instantly takes him out. Malphite, not really known to be damage-oriented, but still, again, has a lot of damage, but you don't really expect it.
The Cass is going in here trying to get as much damage as possible, and she's just gonna pick up the kill with no issue. That ground? Oh, that, like, it changes the game. It changes how the entire fight ends up going. And with Yone having multiple dashes being majority of his kit, it's didn't work out too well for him.
Just overstayed their welcome in that regard there. So compared to the other game where we saw Cassiopeia have a hard time off the start, right now Tot Knife there looking fantastic and is going to be an absolute threat the later this game goes. If you're already finding yourself some kills early on, then you better be very careful on the side of Dance.
Yeah, this is very, very much like the very first game that we saw where I already forgot the name of the other team. There was Falcons and... drawing a blank.
I don't know why. I'm drawing a blank here as well.
But the opposing team against the Falcons, they were...
HTT1.
Yes. HT. The HT team, they did have the Cass, but the thing is that Cass is very late game, but the rest of the champions weren't. Or no, they were. Sorry.
They were all so late game focused that there was no cover. Meanwhile, this one, you can make plays early if you need to defend yourself. Speaking of which, here comes the Nocturne. Diving on in versus 3. The Leona Solar Flare going to make contact. Going to dive right on through. Jinx Rocket going to do some decent AoE across the board. Steve's front and center. Here comes Ya. He's on the Jinx. This is where we get excited. Charges on through. Sase going to barely get out of dodge. Battle up in the top lane as well. Alter getting extremely low alongside White's Doggo. But Ultimate still on deck. That could become something later on. But right now, Team Bots have the Dragon Control.
That was a great engage from both the Leona and the Nocturne there. We do see Cass just telling this Leona, you know what, no, you're not allowed to move. I'm just going to stop you from doing everything you thought you could do. This is like, what I was going to say about the teams is that for the side of Dance, they do have a very, very late game team. But the good thing about Team Bots, they have a good mix of late game and early game. Nocturne is more of on the early game side of things. He does have a little bit more damage early than any other jungler, but Malphite on the other hand, he's kind of more of a mid, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. We do see him going in with the ulti here and just picking up the kill and flashing out of the turret. Very well played. But as I was saying, the Cassiopeia and the Jinx are going to be insane late game. The only concern is if they can't close out the game in time.
Absolutely, and we do see Gutter actually here on the own. This is a bit of a level discrepancy, but that's also a massive health discrepancy. We'll have to see if he can finish the job here. He's not going to quite find it. These are some decent chunks coming out here from Alter. However, the ultimate's going to come on through, looking for two more shots, but wow, so tanky still. Soccer Gabe, or not Soccer Gabe, that's going to be Gutter, barely able to do enough damage to even get close to killing him.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying about Malphite. He has so much health and so much armor and magic resist. It's like, oh my god, just please, I just want one kill, just one. Nocturne is going to come around and invade their jungle real quick and probably pick up a kill on the Yone here. That's what I was saying. The Nocturne is very early game versus the rest of the team that are very late game. Might also pick up the kill on Kayn here. He's going to try and find him in the bush. Kayn is going to flash out and walk back into base to escape the nightmare of Nocturne.
I was going to say the level advantage was not in Gutter's favor there. It's at level 7 compared to Sieve's level 8. And this...
oh my god!
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't want to get close to the Snakey there. Tot Knife absolutely punishing that situation. Does have enough innate burst to get a character like that down. Gutter is going to get punished. And another beautiful elimination coming out here from Tot Knife, continuing that strong mid-lane presence for eliminations on their record as of this moment. Soccer Gabe's got a lot of catching up to do in terms of level. That being said, still has some decent damage. Is going to have to go back though, because you could see as soon as Soccer Gabe didn't have the jump on Tot Knife, he just got shredded.
Yeah.
But if you are able to burst Tot Knife, that level discrepancy might not quite matter.
Yeah, Tot Knife is at that point for as Cass where he's gonna look at anybody and said, "Oh, you want to fight me? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you really want to take this fight? Because I don't think that's a good idea." But overall, very well played from side of Team Bot. They have Dance really, really suppressed right now, and they're not able to get the items that they need in order to make it to late game. So I'm very curious to see how long this game goes, to be honest. It is 8-1 the kills, and it looks like bots are about 4k ahead of Dance, about to be 5. So we're definitely in for an interesting match right now.
Yeah, lots of eliminations on the board for Team Bots, but we do see, of course, the gold in the bottom there. Just the comparisons between the the lane opponents. And right now, it's just pretty much like, all signs looking towards the bots,
I
exception
love
of that
this
support
Mordecai
lane. And yeah, well, how does Doggo? He's just been
he
he's been roleplayed like the D to dance like properly, like using
yeah.
it as a mission statement of sorts, just dancing all over the rift here and continuing to try and fight their way back. Having a hard time as of right now, but still holding his own in their own right. But Dragon coming up within a minute's time. A little bit of vision coming through for the side of Team Bots, which will help out a little bit later, assuming those wards stick around. But this mid-turret might go down too, especially since Shelly's here to play.
Fights are coming out all around the map. Cass is going to have to drop her little swamp at Yoni's feet there to get him to back off for just so that they can pick up the turret with no issues. Nocturne is going to walk into the jungle here, try and pick out the Kane, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Just going to pick up the camp and probably say, alright, see ya, I'll talk to you guys later. I'll be in your base later, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Now, at least Dita Dance was able to take care of the Rift Herald, take care of Shelly before any damage really happened on that second turret.
Ooh.
However, we do have the engage down in the bot lane, trying to get Spherica on the Jhin, but it's going to force them to kind of change their target, like mid-fight. So they did some decent split damage. The Rocket's going to come through as well from Yais, but it is not quite going to get the job done. The flash away was beautifully done there. That being said, though, battle here inside of the red side jungle, not quite going in the favor of the Dita Dance squad, as Gutter is now going to be shredded. We see Alter didn't want to go in for the KS.
Ooh.
In fact, is just going to line up the next elimination, and this is just absolute money across the board here from Team Bots. This is going to be an ace across the field, plus turrets.
It's an ace, a turret, at 15 minutes.
You don't see that too often.
Team Boss are not messing around.
No, not at all.
The flash from the Mordecais are I felt that in my soul. That was painful to watch, but I know how he feels. It's always hard to estimate or trying to guess where that Malphite ulti is going to hit. And as I did explain earlier about the orbs that Kane has to collect, see, as you can see that his icon changed. And
that's
now,
tank version, right?
Yeah, we call it Red Kane.
Red Kane.
Yeah. So basically, I'm Red Kane because I have red hair. He is going to try and go in on the Malphite here, though. Trying to get the knock-up off on him, but he's not able to. While we have a little bit of time, do you know the difference between Red and Blue Kane or no?
All I know is one does more damage than the other. That's it.
All right, so Red Kane, he's able to regen and he's able to get more health back whenever he uses an ability on someone. He is more tanky, so he has more armor, magic resist, all that fun stuff, and health. And then to kick everything off, his W now knocks anybody up. We do see Leona ulti coming through, though. Rakan ulti is also going to come through. Nice Jinx snipe with the rocket. I know how good that feels all the time. Everybody's going down like flies, though. Wow, that was an amazing fight.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, this is exactly what Team Bot just need to do. If they just death ball like this, I don't think they can really be stopped. We've seen in other games so far, like this morning, where if a team groups up like this and pushes, they can easily just get kind of counter AoE'd. However, that is not necessarily the fact here with this squad from Deep to Dance. They technically have like very little to no area of effect damage. They have to try and pick somebody off, if anything.
Yeah.
So if they just death ball it like this, I don't know how they can actually be stopped.
Look at all of those bounties for Team Bots. We have 200 gold bounty for Malphite, 500 gold bounty for Nocturne, 700 for Cass, and 700 for Jinx. And sadly, Leona's left out of the fun.
That's okay.
Ooh, Cass does look like he wanted to pick up another killer on the King, but wasn't able to. They don't even know that he's in this bush. This is why vision is so important.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course, the ward was dropped right after I said that.
And then, of course, like, trash but toxic. I know in terms of looking at the scoreboard specifically, it may not necessarily look that impressive, 0-0-5, but of course, like, you're just the influencer to other people's engagements. It's like, can we turn this fight? Can we turn this fight? She's just sitting there with a gigantic shield. Guys, I don't think we want to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
And just the mere presence, while not necessarily being something on the scoreboard, is going to be absolutely threatening. And that is a combo and a half right there. Beautiful engage from Alter. And the slows and stuns are coming on through. Rocket from downtown is going to go sailing right by. Sieved here for the kill secure. And that is going to be 3 members down. Inhibitor, without question, is going to fall here. Whitest Doggo and Sustin, the only ones left here to try and defend. There isn't necessarily minions right now, so I don't think they're going to be able to finish per se. They might try it anyway.
I think they're forcing it.
But they very well could go for a Baron or something instead. But actually, now that there is minions, it might be time to play.
I think they are trying to force the end here. Mordekaiser did end up using the ulti to keep the Jinx out of the team fight, but Jinx is kiting for her life, trying her best to stay alive in order to help everybody else out. Yone also is going to come through and get 4 people in the knockup. Jinx is going to pick up 2 kills though, and she's going to focus. Seems like she's trying to focus the Yone, try and get him out of the fight, as he is the person who's dealing the most damage right now. Rakan's going to come back in, try and pick up the last kill on Malphite. Jinx is trying to kite as much as possible. She's able to pick up the Yone, keep going with the passive for the Rakan, is able to get the heal off, but she did pick him up with the W. And it looks like they just want to close out this game. It's 25-4. Oh my god.
I mean, I definitely get the urge to want to end it right there. But in turn, you did give over a couple bounties to the side of D to Dance because they were able to get some picks here. Granted, they did end up just going on to Sustin as well as Soccer Gabe, so which, to be fair, like Soccer Gabe wouldn't get some more damage. If the Yone there is able to actually like jump on the Jinx or something, that could still be very, very scary. But it really has to line up like perfectly. In terms of items, in terms of like how much damage or tankiness like the side of Dita Dance has, they're definitely behind compared to the side of Team Bots right now. But this does now allow for the side of Team Bots to refocus themselves onto this Baron. They're going to try and 3-player it as of this moment. And this could be a chance for Dita Dance to get back if they could somehow steal this. Because we can see Baron here, young Gibraltar is going to just be doing tons of AoE damage across the numbers of Team Bots. Maybe not as much as I expected, though, because they just actually shredded that.
Yeah, they melt the Baron very, very, very easily with Cass and Jinx. Both. The Cass doesn't seem like she would have a lot of attack speed, but she really does whenever she does use her Twin Fangs. But it does look like the Yone was able to finally get his mythic item. So that would definitely put a stop to how fast he's getting killed, because Immortal Shield Bow, what it does is when you're below a certain amount of health, you get a shield and you get insane lifesteal. So we might see a little bit of a turnaround here, but we're not too sure yet. Malphite is going to push up top lane to make sure that he can distract some of the players. It looks like they might try and pick up the dragon just before going back in the base, but Leona is ready. She is on the side of the wall wanting to go in. Everybody's going towards top lane for the Malphite right now while they do pick up the drag, just as I predicted, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so that's going to be Dragon number 3, so that's even an additional extra win con now in the pocket here for Team Bots. If they really wanted to stall this one out, just wait up for another Baron and another Dragon, go in with both Baron buff and the Dragon Soul buff. But I honestly don't think they need it at this point. We do see here Yai's just going to be pushing up the bot lane. The rest of the cavalry is just up ahead. Leona and Tot Knife, Crash with Toxic, all ready to move. Sieves there as well. And then Alter has the TP, can just go right back to the bot lane if a team fight does end up breaking out. So this is just like beautifully done here. Soccer Gabe's going to try and do some poke, and you are going to get punished basically instantly. Sieved dives on through. He's going to find the first initial kill onto Soccer Gabe. Trash with Toxic. There we go. Going to get on the board as well. Does find the fellow supporter of Sustin, and they're just going to keep on diving through. Saphirica not going to be long for this world, and Gutter goes down as well. The two tanks are going to slap it out in the top lane, but it doesn't matter. The base is already dead. Beautifully done from Team Bots to secure this round-robin game.
That was such a sweep for Team Bots. Again, all those bounties. Like, Cass just lost her bounty, and she already has another 400 gold bounty on her. That's insane.
No, absolutely. And honestly, just Team Bots felt like they had the control, essentially, the whole game. It wasn't necessarily like a blowout, but it felt like anytime some sort of skirmish happened, you had a feeling that the Team Bots were taking it on their own terms, that they weren't caught off guard. Like, if they lost somebody, they usually at least traded it, so to speak. Meanwhile, Dita Dance was definitely within like striking distance, but at some point near that mid game, things just kind of started falling apart. Unfortunately, there for the Mordekaiser up in the top lane, just never really had enough gold to make himself a true presence. For being the tank when was unfortunately getting dropped extremely quickly, which had a lot to do just with the Malphite there on the side, Alter on the side of Team Bots. for being able to take a character that's not usually seen as much of a lane dominant character, but to still win that lane as hard as they did, meant there was no front line for the rest of the team to really stand behind, and it just absolutely just got the snowball rolling there for the side of the bots.
Yeah, that's the thing with always picking those really late game team comps. You have to make sure. I would always want to have at least one early game to make sure that we do have some sort of balance to keep us steady so that then we can scale later on. And I feel like Dita Dance just didn't have that opportunity because, again, they were kind of just suppressed in every single lane. There wasn't a lot of kills bought initially, but like once that ball started rolling, that doesn't stop at all. And we got to see that too. I know it's like a joke and all that I'm like the Jinx main of St. Clair, but she is a really, really strong champion. And when she does get that passive off, she's just running at you. And at least we're able to see that she was picking up kills after kills after kills, and it worked out fantastic.
Yeah, right after that first initial dragon fight down in the river, like it was the opportunity. I think a couple kills went over to the jungler, but at the same time, I do believe the Jinx was able to like snag one or two. And I mean, right? You get the one kill, all of a sudden you got to get excited. You can just charge on through. And at the very minimum, if another elimination does happen, you're at least getting assist money.
Exactly.
And that just jump started your economy to be able to build that much extra damage. And with no heavy tank, the Kayn couldn't get moving. Nobody could dive on that Jinx or the Cassiopeia for that matter.
No,
they were just left open to just like my team go burr.
Yeah.
And just like light them all on fire.
The Cassiopeia, beautiful, amazing plays by her. It was incredible. Especially, I loved the kill on the Kayn under turret. Just Kayn walks up, I'm just gonna clear the minions for my mid laner, be a little bit helpful, trying to reset the wave. No, Cass is just gonna tell you no and ult you. It was a really good play and a perfect one too, because that just not shut him down, but took him out of fights for a little bit, so then they were able to pick up other objectives around the map.
Absolutely, and of course the support line there, the bots absolutely keeping these nice and safe there for Cassio and Jinx, but at the same time too, also big shout out to Steve, to the jungler, who was oftentimes that finishing blow in case the Jinx couldn't get the kill or the Cassio couldn't get the kill. That way, just dives on through, or just setting up the ganks as well. Just constant support, even support with a little bit of extra damage, and just absolutely made it difficult for anybody on the side of Dita Dance from Christ the King to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, but either way, very well played from both teams. Again, every team that we've seen today, they've played amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
They've like I'm really happy because it's like it reminds me of when I first started playing. So every single team very well played. We're very happy that we're able to stream your games and get to cast them for you today. We are, I believe, going to take a longer break than what we did before.
Possibly. We
have to see.
Yeah, we're going to be moving out of the round robin phase and going to be moving into our top 8 bracket. All the matches are still going to be best of 1, even the finals when we get there. So it's going to be still very volatile, very like high intensity matches coming on up. I think the schedule, if I do take a look, I think it said 1:30, so we'll have ourselves another small break. But that being said, we're just getting into the nitty gritty. I guess the really good stuff coming on up. More action on the way in just a moment.
Yeah.
Got something?
Stay tuned, and we hope to see you again. And if I'm not here, don't be worried. I'll come back eventually.
Fair enough. We'll see you all soon.